Well, thank you for that kind introduction, Mr. Duggan. As Mr. Duggan mentioned, I teach Introduction to American Government classes mostly to college freshmen and sophomores. So I was thinking of something that y'all could do tonight to put me at ease a little bit so I feel right at home. Would you all turn your cell phones on? And occasionally, if you could check your text messages, that would make me feel real comfortable. Feel right at home. Thank you. Seriously, it is such an honor to be with you tonight. I owe a debt of gratitude to Mr. Duggan and so many faculty at this institution who instilled in me an unquenchable thirst for learning. Like many of you, I chose North Central because it was close by and affordable. In all honesty, it was convenient. But something unexpected and completely transformational happened here. Maybe it was the critical thinking in Mr. Duggan's contemporary social problems class. We had the bunny back then. I hear that nowadays he's using the ball. Maybe some of you know what that means. Maybe it was the thrill of discovery in Kathy Colby's biology class, or the provocative discussions in Carrie Finlayson's sociology class. You know, I can't really put my finger on it, but something at this place instilled in me a love for learning and intellectual challenge. And I think that the faculty, staff, and administration here just might have had something to do with it. So graduates, I know you've done this already, but would you please join me in expressing our thanks? Well, I'm thrilled to be back here at North Central Michigan College to mark this tremendous day of accomplishment with the class of 2012, along with your family, friends, and the college faculty, staff, and administration who have made this day possible. Grads, I may appear composed up here on this stage, but I want you to know, inside, my heart is leaping, and I am shouting, wahoo! For all that you have accomplished, and for what this day means for your future. Let me give a special thanks to Dr. Burnett Cook for inviting me. I'm not sure how many names you had to go through before you got to mine, but I'm glad that Michelle Obama and Katie Couric had prior engagements. So it is the transforming power of education that I experienced here at North Central Michigan College that motivates me every day as an instructor at Delta College, one of the nation's leading community colleges, I might add. The marketing office wanted me to say that. So if I were to ask you today, what are the most powerful professions in America? You'd probably think of a police officer, a politician, maybe a corporate CEO. After all, a corporate CEO can take away your job, right? A politician can whittle away at your paycheck. And a police officer can restrict your freedom. But a teacher gives you something that no one can ever take away from you. The knowledge to shape the world in which you want to live. Now that's power. North Central Michigan College unleashed this power in me, and from here, my educational journey has taken me to the crashing waves of the cliffs of Moher in Western Ireland, through the rolling hills of Western Kentucky, the flatlands of Central Michigan, and now to the urban center of downtown Detroit. Being here with you today is a mountaintop in that educational journey. From this vantage point, with all the benefits of hindsight, I can see the journey in full view. Paths down winding roads, sometimes narrow and full of potholes. You know, like that exam you studied for hours upon end and you still only pulled a C. Other times through dark valleys or up steep inclines, like that week where you had 3 exams, 2 papers, a project all due on top of holding a job. You know, I even see a few dead ends necessitating a shift into reverse, only to find tires spinning in the mud. But I don't want this to be about my journey. It's about you, graduates of 2012, and where you go from here. Have you started mapping the course? As you do, I'd like to share a bit of advice from Frederick Douglass, whose life embodies the transformative power of education. A powerful writer and speaker for nearly half of the 19th century, this slave-turned-statesman was known to offer 3 keys to success. Number 1, believe in yourself. Each one of you has been endowed by your Creator with more than just inalienable rights. He has granted you unique skills, gifts, and passions. There's a reason you have that dream in your heart. It's what you were meant to do. So walk with confidence, knowing that whatever the task before you, you have within you the capacity to achieve your dreams. My dream is empowering young people to be politically engaged. Talk about a daunting task. Most college students enter American government class thinking, the sooner this is over, the better. Well, there have been many, many days throughout the course of my teaching career that I have felt unequal to this task. There is no profession as rewarding, yet as humbling as teaching. At times, I've been tempted to compare myself to others or long for someone else's talents. Graduates, whether you're continuing your college career or entering the workplace, you will encounter others who wow you. You may be tempted to shirk back, convincing yourself you don't have what it takes. When you do, remember this. Who you are is not what holds you back. It's who you think you're not. If you dwell on your limitations and what someone else has that you don't, you will fail to make use of the unique gifts that belong to you alone. For me, when I am tempted to let self-doubt and insecurity take over, I remind myself, as Rick Warren writes in The Purpose-Driven Life, that my God is never limited by my limitations and that He enjoys putting His greatness in ordinary containers. That's me. And if you've ever toiled with a sense of inadequacy, you're in good company. When George Washington was elected president, he responded to the news saying that he would accept the position accompanied by feelings not unlike those of a culprit who is going to his place of execution. You see, when the veil is removed, many of America's great leaders are not as confident as they appear. Despite his sense of inadequacy, Washington did not let it paralyze him with fear. In the same way, I encourage you to take courage and walk confidently toward your dreams, believing that you have within you the capacity to determine your own destiny. Number 2 from Frederick Douglass. Take advantage of every opportunity. And I'll add this. When there's not one readily available, create your own. When walking the halls of NCMC all those years ago, I saw a sign that said, "Win a scholarship to study in Ireland." I looked a little closer and saw that the Robert Emmet Society was granting an all-expense-paid semester in Ireland to be awarded in an essay contest. I thought, I can write an essay. And before I knew it, I was on a plane headed for Galway, Ireland. Thank you, Robert Emmet Society, if any of you are here tonight. The point is that when something is scary or intimidating, that's all the more reason you should do it. You should really do something scary at least once a week. Make that a goal. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking scary as in stupid or dangerous. I'm talking scary as in getting out of your comfort zone. To do this, you've got to take the fear out of failure. You see, there are worse things in life than failing. A timid life being one of them. Just imagine where you could be after a lifelong pattern of stretching the limits of what you thought you were personally capable. Number 3 from Frederick Douglass. He often spoke of using the power of the spoken and written language to effect positive change for yourself and your society. This means that you don't let your education benefit just you. With your diploma from NCMC, you join an elite group that makes up just 6.7% of the world's population. That's the percentage of inhabitants on this planet that hold a college degree, according to a study by Harvard University and Asian Development Bank. With that privilege comes great responsibility. This college has given you the tools to become agents for positive change in your world. Now it's up to you to use them. You know, if you're like me, many people have invested a lot in you to get you to this point. Close your eyes a minute and bring the faces of your personal cheerleaders to mind. Can you do that for me? If you can't think of anyone in your personal life, picture Dr. Brunette Cook. I know she is motivated by your success every day. You know, one face I can't get out of my mind is my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Chu from Charlevoix Elementary School. I was kind of curious as to anyone here has had Mrs. Chu. She's probably long retired. Well, I remember her returning my writing assignments with a smiley face and "See me" at the top, which meant that I got to pick something out of the prize drawer, a pencil, eraser, a sticker. I left her class just knowing that I was going to be a world-famous writer someday. Consider those nudges of encouragement and all that investment a gift. These individuals have empowered you to live a life that's about more than just you. So find out whatever it is that you're passionate about, because none of you were meant to be extras in a movie about somebody else's life. Write your own script. Pursue your own passion. And when you do, it will be the greatest gift possible for those who have supported you along the way. Some of you from here will go out into the workforce. Some of you will transfer to another college or university. Celebrate tonight and then strap on your boots again. When you do, I'll be right alongside you. Just because I'm up here tonight doesn't mean that I have somehow arrived. In fact, I hope that I never do arrive, because the joy is in the journey and what you discover along the way. While continuing my education has been a great intellectual joy, it has also been a challenge. I teach full-time. I'm involved in a host of activities across Delta and the community, and I commute to Detroit for PhD classes. That means, of course, that a weekend day might pose these questions. Do I work on that doctoral paper, grade my students' exams, or plan something fun with my daughter and husband? When faced with these dilemmas, I remind myself that life is about more than a career or a college degree. In some ways, it's easier to build a resume than build a life. If you plan each moment wisely, you can have both, the resume and the life. Just don't expect to fit TV and housework in there, okay? So whatever the next phase of your journey, I encourage you to rely on a champion as you begin to take that next challenge. At this phase in my life, that champion is my husband, Jared, who cheers me on. He's my #1 fan. I've also been blessed to have parents, grandparents, good friends, and motivating faculty who urge me to the next level. I know that you've had such inspiration too. So when you achieve your goals, pay it forward. As you watch others around you reach for their dreams, encourage them and believe in them. So enjoy this moment of sweet success, graduates. Seize it, and then be a force for good in the lives of others and in your community. Best wishes and congratulations, class of 2012.